life sciences organizations are complex. They're distributed. Business has changed in the last 20 to 30 years. We don't live in the same traditional brick and mortar world that we used to live in. The organization has extended itself through different client relationships, business partner relationships, supply chains, outsourcers, service providers, contractors, consultants, temporary workers. You can't not really define where your organization starts and stops anymore. This has made managing compliance in the extended business and the extended business environment in life sciences very difficult. And organizations need to really have a defined practice and process in place supported by technology to manage compliance across these extended business relationships. You look at the typical life sciences company and you've got complex relationships with biotech, CROs, CMOs, the supply chain, other different business relationships, and these relationships are working with critical information. And your business is constantly changing. Your business relationships are changing, the economic environment's changing, the regulatory environment's changing, and you got to stay on top of your game. But it's just not your organization anymore. It's this ecosystem of organizations that work together and hopefully harmony to make the life sciences organization productive and profitable. But there's a lot of things that can go wrong. When you have that complexity in business, there's a lot of places to cross your T's and dot your I's. And there's a lot of areas of the organization where compliance can fail across these extended business relationships. And part of that is making sure that we have proper controls in place and being able to give access to these business relationships to information and processes within the life sciences organization that they need to get their job done, but not too much access. Giving them the right access to get to the right information, the right process at the right time to make that partnership work, to make that relationship work. And so technology really enables that. Technology like QUMAS to be able to give access to process and information to your ecosystem of business partners without giving too much access. But even that access giving, it's controlled access. You know what was done, by who it was done, when it was done, so you can document that and manage that and manage risk and meet and adhere to compliance requirements in the complex nature of business across this extended business environment that we have today. Generics is one area of life sciences that is particularly battling this area of managing compliance and relationships and collaboration in the extended business environment. They've got this complex interaction of suppliers and manufacturers, and it's necessary that we use technology and leverage technology appropriately, like QUMAS, to be able to effectively and efficiently manage the collaboration, to stay compliant, to address risk in this relationship. And importantly, most importantly, to make the organization agile. We want to be efficient in our collaboration. We want to be effective in our collaboration. We also don't want to implement so many controls in place that we actually inhibit the relationship. We want to make sure the organization is still agile in these complex relationships in the generic life cycle manufacturing. A particular challenge is in the area of generics. Generics have multiple sponsors, and with that, multiple facilities and manufacturers out there working to produce these drugs across these complex relationships. It's necessary that the organizations implement software to enable that collaboration to make the organization more efficient, effective, and also agile. We want to be efficient in making sure that the way we collaborate uses the least amount of resources as possible, that we make collaboration efficient for the business, but also effective. We want to be effective at managing risk and addressing risk, but also meeting compliance requirements across these extended business relationships when they might have different people reporting to different organizations. On top of that, and most critically, is the agility piece. We want to make sure business is flexible. We can't put so much control into the business that it inhibits the business but from being productive and from meeting its goals. We need to make sure that we enable agility through our collaboration software and technologies like QUMAS to make the business more agile. That business gets done, it gets done while managing risk and meeting compliance requirements, but it gets done to meet business objectives and performance.